I used to hide my fractures, as if holiness meant looking whole. But the older I get, the more I see. Light has always preferred a broken entrance. There was a season I kept everything polished. My answers, my smile, my Sunday clothes, my voice in public, my silence in private. I knew how to sound blessed, even when I was barely sleeping, even when my heart was carrying questions, too scared to say out loud. I thought if I kept it beautiful, no one would notice the shaking, not even me, but grief is patient. And exhaustion has a way of telling the truth through your body first, then your soul, then through the tears you promised yourself you wouldn't cry anymore. I stood in the kitchen one night, hands wrapped around a cooling cup of tea, watching my reflection in a dark window, and I said, Lord, I don't know how to hold all of this. Not in a church voice, not in polished language, just plain, just honest, just tired. And heaven did not turn away from plain prayers. Heaven leaned closer. I remember Proverbs speaking softly, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Not the healed heart, not the finished heart, not the heart with no history. Just all your heart, the trembling part, the bruised part, the part that doesn't understand why some doors close and some wounds stay longer than expected. That night I felt something holy, not dramatic, not loud, no thunder, no sudden breakthrough, just a stillness, like someone opening a window inside my chest. And for the first time in a long time, I stopped trying to look strong and started letting myself be seen. When the cracks let heaven in, I found mercy moving through the seams, not after I was mended, but while I was unraveling. When the cracks let heaven in, I learned grace was not afraid of me. It came gentle as evening light, resting where the pain had been. Now I do not despise my story, not the chapters with shut doors, not the names that left, not the waiting room prayers, not the long road back to peace. Because somewhere in the breaking, I became real again. And real is where you meet me best. I have seen proud walls collapse, I have seen sorrow kneel and become worship. I have seen empty hands become open hands, and open hands can finally receive. When the cracks let heaven in, I found mercy moving through the seams, not after I was mended, but while I was unraveling. When the cracks let heaven in, I learned grace was not afraid of me. It came gentle as evening light, resting where the pain had been. Maybe healing is not the disappearance of the wound. Maybe healing is when the wound no longer speaks louder than God. Maybe wisdom is not having every answer. Maybe wisdom is knowing who to lean on when you don't. So if I am fragile tonight, let me be fragile in your hands. If I am weary tonight, let me rest where mercy broken open, then let holy light begin. Because maybe all this time the cracks were how you entered in. And I am no longer ashamed of what had to break to let the healing start. There were nights when words abandoned me, when faith felt too far to reach, when even whispering God felt heavier than my chest could carry. I sat in silence, not peaceful silence, but the kind that echoes with everything you don't understand. I used to think if I couldn't pray properly, then maybe you were distant. Maybe I had failed. Maybe I wasn't doing enough to be heard. But you don't measure prayer the way people measure words. You stayed when I couldn't pray, when all I had was empty space. You heard what I couldn't say and wrapped it up in grace. You stayed when I couldn't pray, didn't turn your face away, even in my quietest place. You stay. Psalms taught me something real, that even broken sentences count, that even tears have language that heaven understands. David cried out, not always with strength, but with honesty, and somehow that was enough. So I stopped trying to sound right, stopped searching for perfect words, and just sat there, hands open, heart unsure, but present. And in that presence, I felt something shift. Not everything, but enough. You stayed when I couldn't pray, when all I had was empty space. You heard what I couldn't say and wrapped it up in grace. Maybe prayer is not about speaking clearly. Maybe it's about not walking away. Maybe it's about staying in the room, even when your voice doesn't show up. You stayed when I couldn't pray, through every silent ache, and even when I had no strength, your love did not break. You stayed when I couldn't pray, closer than I knew, and now I understand. Silence can reach you too. I didn't lose you in my quiet. I found you there. I spent years double-checking every lock, not just on my front door, but on my heart, on my trust, on my memories, on every place that once got hurt. I learned to survive by becoming careful with hope, careful with people, careful with joy. Because disappointment had a familiar face, and I was tired of inviting it back in. So I built a quiet life, not empty, just guarded. A neat little world of manageable feelings, a few safe conversations, a smile that never said too much, a prayer that stayed respectful, but never desperate. Because desperation feels dangerous when you have known what it is to ask and not understand the answer. Then one evening, after another long day of being fine, I heard a line in my spirit, soft as a lamp in another room. Behold, I stand at the door and knock, and I froze because I realized I had been asking you to bless rooms I wouldn't let you enter. I wanted peace, but not surrender, healing, but not honesty, comfort, but not the vulnerability of being fully seen. Still, you did not force the door, you just kept knocking. Patient is only love can be. So I left the door unlocked for grace, not because I was fearless, but because I was tired of hiding in the same place. I left the door unlocked for grace, and mercy walked in slowly, like it already knew every wound by name. It did not come in with accusation, did not point at the dust, did not shame the clutter, did not rehearse my failures back to me. Grace looked around the room of my life and called it worth staying in. Can you imagine what that does to a soul? To be known and not rejected, to be weary and not rushed, to be quiet and still deeply loved. I began to pray differently after that, less polished, more true. I stopped editing my sorrow, stopped making my pain presentable, started bringing you the whole ache, the whole history, the whole mess. And something inside me softened, like old curtains opening after winter. So I left the door unlocked for grace, not because I was fearless, but because I was tired of hiding in the same place. I left the door unlocked for grace, and mercy walked in slowly, like it already knew every wound by name. Proverbs says, above all else, guard your heart. And maybe I misunderstood that for years. Maybe guarding does not mean sealing it shut. Maybe it means entrusting it to the one who knows how to keep it alive without making it hard. Now when night settles in and old thoughts start circling the house, I do not panic like before. I light a little lamp, open the scripture, sit still long enough to hear love speak, and the room changes, not always all at once, but enough for breathing, enough for hope, enough for another dawn. Yes, I left the door unlocked for grace, and grace did not come to expose me. It came to stay, to bless the silence, to heal the place. And now this heart that used to tremble Waiting doesn't shout. It lingers. It stretches. It teaches you things you never planned to learn. I'm standing in the middle of something unfinished, between what you said and what I can see, holding on to words spoken in faith, while my reality asks questions I can't always answer. Some mornings feel steady, like trust comes easy, like hope has a rhythm. But other days, it feels like I'm reaching through fog, trying to hold on to something that keeps slipping just out of sight. Still, your voice hasn't changed, even when my feelings do. I'm breathing between the promises, trusting what I cannot see, holding on to quiet faith when it feels incomplete. Breathing between the promises, learning patience slowly. If you said it once, that's enough for me. Proverbs reminds me to trust with all my heart, not just the confident part, but the unsure part too. So I bring you both, the belief and the doubt, the peace and the questions, the strength and the waiting. And instead of forcing clarity, I let surrender take its place. Because maybe faith is not certainty, maybe it's continuity, choosing to stay even when things are unclear. I'm breathing between the promises, trusting what I cannot see, holding on to quiet faith when it feels incomplete. What if the waiting is not empty? What if it's shaping something in you that arrival alone could never teach? Breathing between the promises, still learning how to trust, even when I don't see the way. I believe because you must. Oh, breathing between the promises, with every fragile step. If you are still speaking, then I am not finished yet. I will keep breathing until the promise becomes sight. There were days I didn't think I would make it through, days that felt heavier than they should, moments where everything inside me whispered, maybe this is too much. I smiled when I had to, answered when I could, but inside I was closer to breaking than anyone knew. I stood in rooms full of people, feeling completely alone, carrying thoughts I didn't know how to share, but somehow I didn't stop moving. Hallelujah for the days I almost gave up but didn't, for the strength I didn't know I had. Hallelujah for the days I almost gave up, but something held me even when I didn't understand. Psalm says God is close to the brokenhearted, and I didn't feel it at the time. But looking back, I can see it clearly. Every breath I kept taking, every morning I still woke up, every step I managed to move forward was not just me. It was grace, quiet, steady, unseen, but real. Hallelujah for the days I almost gave up but didn't, for the strength I didn't know I had. Hallelujah, hallelujah for the days I almost gave up, but something held me even when I didn't understand. Not every victory looks like celebration. Some victories look like survival. Hallelujah for the days I almost gave up and still stayed, and now I see you were with me all the way. I thought I was alone, but I wasn't. Not all faith starts big. Some of it grows quietly. I didn't always believe this deeply, didn't always trust this way. There was a time when my faith felt distant, like something I understood but didn't fully live. I asked questions, I doubted, I hesitated. I stepped forward, then pulled back again. But you stayed patient, never rushed me, never forced me, just stayed. And over time, something changed. A hallelujah that grew slowly through the days I didn't see, through the moments I kept showing up, even when it wasn't easy. A hallelujah that grew slowly now lives inside of me, stronger than it used to be, because you stayed with me. Proverbs says, trust grows over time, not instantly, not perfectly. And now I see every small step mattered, every quiet prayer, every moment I chose not to walk away. way, built something deeper than I realized. A hallelujah that grew slowly through the days I didn't see, through the moments I kept showing up, even when it wasn't easy. Growth doesn't always feel like progress. Sometimes it just feels like staying. A hallelujah that grew slowly is now steady and true, and everything I've walked through has brought me closer to you. It didn't happen overnight, but it happened. I didn't lose God. I just forgot how to be still with Him. Life got louder than I expected. Schedules filled up quickly. Conversations became shorter, but my thoughts grew heavier. I kept moving from one thing to the next, telling myself I would slow down later, but later never came. And somewhere in all of that, I stopped sitting with you, not intentionally, just gradually, until one night the silence called me back. I learned to sit with God again, not rushing through the moment, not pretending to be strong. I learned to sit with God again, and found a kind of peace I have been missing all along. No long prayers, no perfect words, just quiet presence and an open heart. Psalms became softer again, not just something I read, but something I leaned on. And I realized you never left me. I just stopped noticing. I learned to sit with God again, not asking for everything, just staying where you are. I learned to sit with God again, and slowly I remembered who I am. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is stay still long enough to be loved. And now I know I don't need to rush to be close to you. I felt calm before, but this feels different. This peace didn't come from everything going right. It didn't come from answers or perfect timing. It came quietly, after I stopped forcing things, after I let go of needing control. And somehow, that changed everything. This peace feels different. It doesn't depend on the day. It stays even when things shift. It doesn't fade away. This peace feels different. It's deeper than before. Not something I created, but something you restored. Psalm says, God gives peace beyond understanding, and now I see why. Because it doesn't always make sense, it just settles in places that used to be restless. And for once, I'm not questioning it. I'm just receiving it. This peace feels different. It's steady and it's real. Not tied to my emotions, but anchored in what I feel. Peace is not something you hold on to. It's something you allow. And this time, I'm not letting it go. Put my faith on this morning, like a familiar code, not to hide behind, but to remind me who I know. You were good before my mood arrived, so I trusted that first. As the day unfolded, I noticed my reactions, how love feels easy in theory, but harder in practice. Faith wasn't loud, it was patient. I loved imperfectly today, said too much, held back some truth. I tried to listen, try to stay open. I felt you in my choices, not correcting, just guiding. Later I admitted my exhaustion, my fear of disappointing others and myself. I didn't ask you to fix me, I asked you to stay. Faith didn't leave. It softened, and I walked home. Human again. The river runs through shadows deep. My weary soul it seems to keep the pain, the loss, the doubts I know. Yet in its flow, your mercy shows. I feel a touch, a tender hand guiding me to a promised land. Rivers of grace wash over me, healing my heart, setting me free. Hope everlasting, love divine. In every curve, your light shines, your light shines. Through valleys low I hear your song. It lifts me high where I belong. All fear dissolves in your embrace. I stand renewed, held by your grace. Soft paths linger, piano sighs, a gentle release. My spirit flies. The night was heavy, questions loud. Hope felt thin beneath a cloud. I tried to pray, but words fell slow. I didn't know which way to go. Then silence spoke without demand. Faith was found in open hands. Awake in your presence, I let time heal. From silent pain to truth I feel. Hope remains, though answers hide. Your love stays near, my constant guide. Every tear I tried to hide, you saw them all and stayed beside. You didn't rush my fragile heart. You love me right where I start. I surrender all my need to understand what's meant to be. Teach me peace in waiting still, trusting more than for soul. Will morning hums a substitute. Grace arise, not late, not soon. In yours, my spirit rests. Faith survives the unanswered test. In the quiet, strong and true, I am held. I wait with you. In a world that forgets so easily, you remember every detail, every part of me. I felt lost among the millions, just another passing presence, trying hard to find a meaning in the noise of everything. Every label they assigned me never seemed to fully fit me. Every version of myself felt incomplete and temporary. I kept searching for identity in places that were shifting, in approval, in attention, in the things that fade away. But somewhere deep within the silence, there was something softly calling. Not my failure, not my fear, but my name. Not forgotten, not invisible. I have called you by name. You are mine. Not based on who you were, but on who you are to me. You know me deeper than the surface I present to everyone. Every hidden thought and feeling, every battle I have won, and the ones I've lost in silence, and the ones I never show. Still you look at me with mercy, like I'm more than what I know. Not defined by my mistakes or by the things I try to hide, but redeemed within a love that never leaves my side. Oh, and I don't have to keep performing, don't have to keep pretending, don't have to earn a place inside a love that's always mine. You already see the ending, already know the whole story. Still you choose to walk beside me through the unfolding of my life. And the more I let you show me who I am beneath the surface, the more I feel a freedom I have never felt before. Like identity was never something I had to discover, just something I was given at my core. Fully known, fully loved, without condition. And maybe I was never lost, just unaware that I was always seen and called by name. is forlorn. I reach for light, I search for grace. In empty rooms I see your face. With trembling hope I lift my eyes. A gentle warmth, a calm surprise. Hearts in quiet prayer we rise. Through the tears, through the sighs, faith surrounds us, love restores. Your presence heals, opens doors. Every fear, every lonely night, you bring me peace, you bring me light. I trust in you, my anchor strong. Through every trial you carry me along. Soft piano fades, the stillness reigns. In your embrace my heart remains. I thought surrender would feel like losing everything, but it felt more like finally putting something down that I was never meant to carry. I held on to every memory like it defined my existence. Every moment, every failure, every piece of who I was. Even when it caused me pain, I refused to let it leave me. 'Cause I didn't know who I'd be without the weight I learned to love. I thought letting go was weakness, thought it meant I was defeated, thought surrender was the end of everything I tried to build. But I didn't see the freedom waiting quietly beyond it. Didn't know that letting go was how my heart would heal. After surrender, there is something deeper than relief. Be still and know that I am God. Stillness isn't empty, it's full of presence. In the quiet after breaking, in the calm beyond the pain, I can feel a gentle healing flowing slowly through my veins. Not because the past is gone, not because it didn't stay, but because I'm no longer holding on to it the same way. And the weight I used to carry doesn't own me anymore. There is freedom in surrender I have never known before. Now I sit inside the silence, but it doesn't feel like absence. There's a fullness in the stillness that I never felt before. Like a presence wrapping softly around every part of me, like a peace that doesn't leave when I walk through the unknown. And I'm learning I don't need to understand it to receive it. Don't need answers to be certain that I'm finally okay. There is something in this moment that feels steady, that feels grounded, like I found a place where I can stay. Not empty, not alone, just finally home. And maybe peace was never waiting somewhere far away. Maybe it was always here, waiting for me to release everything.
I've been talking to myself again, trying to sound like I'm okay. Every smile feels rehearsed, every truth pushed far away. I know what faith is supposed to be, but my heart feels tired tonight. I believe I just don't feel strong. I'm learning how to live with the quiet fight. Some nights I sit with unanswered prayers, like letters you never returned. I wonder if you hear me breathing, or if this is just something I earned. I don't doubt that you are good, I just doubt myself sometimes. I don't need a perfect answer, I just need a sign. If you're speaking in the silence, teach my heart how to listen. I'm still listening, even when I'm weak. Still reaching out when I can't see. I don't have much, but I'm here tonight. I'm still listening for your light. You didn't rush my fragile faith, you didn't shame my questions. You sat with me in the waiting, turned my wounds into lessons. You said, child, rest your heavy heart, you don't have to understand. That was the moment I felt safe, right where I am. If this is all the strength I have, I give it to you. Now my breath feels slower than before, my chest don't feel so tight. I don't need tomorrow figured out, I'm okay with tonight. I'm still listening, calm and still, learning how to trust your will. I don't need to know the end, I just need you here again. I hear you now. I hear you now.
One rarely announces itself. I wanted instant breakthrough. You chose gradual becoming. Roots before branches, depth before height. I mistook slow for stagnant, but heaven is patient with fragile things.
Resource harmony.
growing.
Response harmony.
If you're shaping what I can't see, if you're healing underneath, then I will trust the hidden work happening in me. Even when the progress feels too small to show, I believe in sacred seeds that slowly grow. Slow but certain,
Quiet but sure.
Why is this taking long?
Because I built it long.
Because I built to last.
Why must pruning hurt?
Because dead things must pass.
Because dead things must pass.
Will I bloom again?
In season you will.
Let the slow work shape my heart with care, form endurance, plant resilience there. If your timing
writes a story
better than my own,
I surrender to the slow work you are making known.
heaven is not in a hurry. Heaven is not in a hurry.
I thought I was walking through it alone. I really did. I thought every step I took came from what little strength I had left. But I was wrong. There was a season I barely remember clearly. Not because it didn't matter, but because it was too heavy to fully hold. Days blended into each other. Mornings came without motivation. Nights stretched longer than they should. And everything in between felt like something I had to survive. I smiled when necessary, answered when spoken to, did what needed to be done, but inside I was carrying more than I could name. There were thoughts I didn't share, feelings I couldn't explain, moments where I stood still just trying to understand how I got so tired. And yet I kept going. I didn't know I was being carried through the weight, through the night. When my strength felt like it left me, you were holding me the whole time. I didn't know I was being carried when I thought I was alone. But looking back now I see it, I never walked on my own. Psalm speaks of a God who does not sleep, who watches, who stays, who keeps. And I used to read that like poetry, something beautiful but distant. Now I read it differently. Now I feel it in the places I once questioned. Because I remember nights where I should have broken, moments where I should have given up, times where everything inside me said, this is too much. But something kept me steady, something kept me breathing, something kept me from falling apart completely. And I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. I didn't know I was being carried through the way, through the night, through the Not every miracle feels like a miracle when it's happening. Sometimes it just feels like you made it through another day. But that was you. That was always you. Now, I look back at the version of me that barely made it through, and I don't see weakness anymore. I see grace, I see presence, I see a love that stayed closer than I realized. And something in me softens, knowing I was never as alone as I thought I was. I didn't know I was being carried, but I feel it clearly now. Every step that I survived was you somehow. I didn't know I was being carried, oh, but I will not forget. Even in the unseen moments, you were there in every step. And maybe I wasn't strong, maybe I was just held.
You told the sky to hold its lights. You named every star. And somehow, you still know my name. There are nights when hope feels distant, when promises seem delayed. I look at my life and wonder if I misunderstood the plan. But wisdom says, trust with all your heart, lean not on what you see. So I step outside into the dark and lift my eyes. Teach me to count the stars again when doubt is loud and strong. Remind me of the promises that carried me this far along. If you can hold the universe within your steady hand, then surely you can hold my life even when I don't understand.
The future feels uncertain, doors close without warning,
but you are not surprised.
You see the road beyond the bend. Ooh, you write hope into endings I thought were final.
Oh, your timing is not anxious, your love is not delayed.
Teach me to count the stars again
when fear invades my sleep.
Show me how your faithfulness runs steady, sure and deep.
If mercy wakes each morning like sunlight through the blue, then every star above me is proof that you are true.
Faith over sight,
faith over sight,
hope over fear,
hope over fear.
You are here.
I will count the stars again, even in the night. Every light a whisper, everything's alright. And though I cannot trace your hand, I trust your faithful heart. The one who hung the galaxies won't tear my world apart. The sky is still full of light.
is a quiet place where fear forgets your name, and the noise finally bows down. I've been running through shadows all my life, trying to fix what I feel inside. Every road just led me back to a heart too tired to fight. Lead me to still waters, where my soul can breathe again. Like the psalm says, He restores my soul. But I never understood until I had nothing left. Lay me down by quiet streams, wash away my broken dreams. If your voice is all I hear, I don't have to fear. I was chasing validation in empty rooms, wearing pain like perfume. But you saw me differently, even in my disbelief. You don't rush, you don't force, you just stay. Still waters calling me home. And tonight I rest, not because I'm strong, but because you are. Covered by your grace, I was drifting in the darkest night, couldn't find a single light. Every step was filled with fear, every prayer I thought you wouldn't hear. But you reached down through the pain, like a healing pouring rain. Now I'm standing here today by the mercy you gave. You never turned your face away, even when I lost my way. I am covered by your grace, held within your holy place. Every scar and every tear, you have washed away my fear. I am covered by your grace, nothing else can take your place. You are all I need to know. In your love I am whole. When the weight was on my chest and I couldn't find my rest, you were whispering my name. Child, you're not the same. Now I see the light you bring. Now my soul begins to sing. Every chain is falling down, you have turned it all around. Oh, your grace, it lifts me higher. Oh, your grace, my heart's desire. I will sing forevermore. You're the one my soul adores. I am covered by your grace. Every moment, every place, I am covered by your grace. I will run this race. Nothing in this world can break what your love has made. I am yours. memories all covered by your grace. Covered by your grace. I lay down the weight of the day, all the moments I replay, all the words I wish I changed. And you watch, not with judgment, but with care. The world sleeps, but you remain awake. The Lord who watches over me neither sleeps nor turns away. While I rest, you are working. While I breathe, you stay. I remember you are my keeper, my shade, my covering. No harm unseen, no tear unnoticed. Oh, the light heeds what you made awake. The Lord who watches over me guards my coming and my going. I trust the night to you and let my heart lie still. So I close my eyes without fear, because heaven is awake. Oh yeah, is awake.
There's a tension inside me, like I'm being pulled in two directions at once. One toward who I'm becoming, and one toward who I've always been. There's a war inside my chest that never fully disappears, between the voice that calls me higher and the weight of all my fears. Every step I try to take feels like resistance underneath me, like the past is reaching forward, trying hard to pull me back. I want faith that feels unshaken. I want peace that stays consistent. But the truth is I am human, and I'm learning as I go, standing somewhere in the middle of redemption and confusion, trying hard to trust a path I do not know. Between grace and gravity, I am learning how to stand. The spirit is willing, but the soul remembers everything it's been through. Hold me in this fragile tension, where I'm not yet fully whole, where I'm wrestling with surrender, while you're shaping up my soul. Every part I try to hide, every shadow I conceal, you already see clearly. And you choose to stay and heal. If I fall into the struggle, don't let failure be my end. Let your grace become the reason I can rise again. I've been trying to be perfect, trying hard to earn affection, building worth upon the fragile things I thought I had to prove. But I'm slowly understanding there's a freedom in surrender and a power in accepting. I was never meant to move on my own without your presence, without mercy as my anchor, without love that doesn't change when everything else does. And the more I lean into it, the more I feel it clearly. I was always held, I was always loved. Not divided, just becoming. Not finished, but transforming. Maybe this tension isn't something I should escape. Maybe it's the place where you are changing me the most. Started the day believing that you were near, that love was enough, that grace would lead. I sang it easily and meant it, but life asked questions that worship didn't answer, and I felt the familiar tension between heaven and habit. Still I remember you. I carried faith in a conversation, into touch, into desire, into longing to be known, and fear of being seen. I needed grace there too. By evening I was honest about how tired hope can feel, about wanting reassurance that I'm still doing okay. You didn't correct me, you listened. It followed me home, not rushing, not judging. Faith didn't make me less human. It taught me how to be one in peace.
Some days feel like ruins, like something beautiful once stood here, but now it's only smoke.
I built dreams with trembling hands, stacked them high with fragile hope. But life has a way of shaking what we thought was permanent. And here I am, sitting in ashes of plans I thought you promised. Was it you, or was it me?
When my heart sits in ashes and the fire's gone cold, be the gentle whisper that rebuilds my soul. If sorrow is a teacher, let me learn your peace.
When my heart sits in ashes, let new mercy speak.
You never said storms wouldn't come. You never said loss wouldn't hurt. But you did say you are near to the broken. Near doesn't always mean rescue. Sometimes it means presence. And maybe that's enough.
When my heart sits in ashes and regret fills the air, breathe life through the embers. Lead me in this prayer. If you refine like silver, burn away the fear. When my heart sits in ashes, remind me you are here. From dust to beauty, from sorrow to song, you are making me strong.
When my heart sits in ashes, I will still believe the one who forms the mountains is forming hope in me. And what feels like an ending is not the end at all. When my heart sits in ashes, you are building through the fall.
When my heart sits in ashes and the fire's gone cold, build up the hills,
Just the view
that rebuilds my soul. If sorrow is a teacher, let me learn your will. When my heart sits in ashes, let new mercy speak.
Even ashes remember fire. No.
There is a softness in your presence that disarms me without asking permission. I arrive worn out, broken beyond repair, just tired of carrying myself. You do not ask for more effort, you offer space. This feels like gentle place to lay my soul, where nothing has to be hidden and nothing has to be fixed tonight. shelter, not escape, but safety. You remind me that you are close to the brokenhearted, not disappointed, not distant. This is a gentle place where I am allowed to rest, held by mercy, not measured by progress. I breathe slower, I stay longer, I let the quiet do its work. And when the night passes, I will rise again, not rushed, not hardened, but
mine has a strange honesty. The world slows down, masks fall away, and the heart finally speaks the truth.
tonight my soul feels tired, not broken, not lost, just tired. And that's when I remember Jesus once said, "Come to me all who are weary." Midnight prayer is rising slow through the quiet overflow. Every burden gently laid at the altar where you stay. Love is stronger than my fears, holding all my hidden tears. Grace is whispering tonight, everything will be alright. Reflection spoken. Hey. God never asked us to carry everything alone. We only assumed we had to. Midnight peace begins to grow where the silent rivers flow. Faith is breathing in my chest, teaching weary hearts to rest. Lord, receive this fragile heart, heal the places torn apart. Midnight prayer is rising still through you, your everlasting will. Mercy washing over me like a calm eternal sea.
The night feels lighter now.
I lost my voice in the noise of fear, forgot how truth should sound. Every prayer felt too weak to write, so I kept them on the ground. You didn't need me loud or strong, just honest, just real. So I whispered hope through shaking lips, and you heard how I feel. Softly, I believe again, not in fear but in your hand. I don't have it figured out, but softly, I believe. Softly, I believe again, not in fear but in your hand. I don't have it figured out, but softly, you turn my questions into doors, my doubt into a song. I learned that faith don't need perfection, just the courage to hold on and be. Now joy moves gentle in my chest like morning air. I'm not rushing into heaven, I found it here. Softly, I believe again in mercy, grace, and second chances. I don't need to see the end. Softly, I believe. Softly, I believe again in mercy, grace. I don't need to see the end. Even silence speaks your name. Softly, I believe I breathe. Your love is carrying me from quiet pain to inner freedom. So softly, I believe. Yes. The night was long, my soul unsure. Every promise felt insecure. I chased relief in restless ways, still empty at the break of day. Then mercy breathed into my fear, a tender truth, I'm always here. Awake in your presence, I finally breathe. From heavy doubt to quiet belief, hope returns, my spirit sighs. Your love stays close, my heart replies. Every lonely prayer I spoke, you gathered up, you never broke. Your patience stronger than my shame. You loved me before I changed. I surrender your name before my story even speaks. Holy is your love before I know what I need. I lift my hands easily here in this sacred space where belief feels simple and hope feels safe, unfolding. But as I step into myself, I notice the weight I carry, the questions I don't sing about, the fears I keep tidy. Faith didn't disappear, it just asked for honesty. I walk through my day with faith in my chest and longing in my eyes, trying to love well, trying to stay kind, trying not to hide. I talk to you like a friend now, not just a king. Confession, I tell you where I'm lonely, where trust still hurts, where I get tired of being strong and afraid of being weak. I don't stop believing, I stop pretending. The music thins out, I breathe again, holy and honest, finally sound the same.
There is a place where the world does not rush me, where the noise fades, and I can finally hear what my soul has been trying to say. I spent so long running, trying to outrun my thoughts, trying to silence the questions that kept me awake at night. But you didn't chase me, you called me back into stillness. Like Psalm 23, you lead me beside still waters. I didn't understand it before, but now I do. Still waters don't force, they invite. They don't demand my strength, they ask for my surrender. And in that surrender, something inside me began to slow down. My heart, my breath, my fear, all softened in your presence. And I realized peace was never something I had to chase. It was something I had to receive. Still waters speak, and my soul begins to hear. Still waters speak, and calm the storm within me. In the quiet you restore my soul, in the stillness you make me whole. Still waters speak, and I am finally home. Be still and know, not because I understand everything, but because I trust the one who does. And in that stillness, I don't just find peace, I find you.
I questioned everything I knew, even you sometimes. But doubt don't mean I walked away, it just means I cried. I held on to you with shaking hands through nights that felt too long. Faith wasn't strong or confident, it was barely holding on. I didn't lose my faith, I just learned how to bend. I didn't walk away from love, I learned how to depend. You didn't leave when I was weak, you stayed when I was numb. You showed me faith ain't certainty, it's choosing love when answers don't come. I am me, now I trust the dark won't last. I trust the dark won't last, I trust the dawn will rise. I don't need to see the road, I see it in your eyes. I didn't lose my faith, I found a deeper way. Not loud belief, but honest trust that stays. Even doubt knows your name. I didn't lose my faith in you, I lost my fear of truth from broken hope to open hands. I didn't lose my faith. I'm still here. Shadows linger, doubts arise. I search for truth beneath the skies. My heart is heavy, lost in pain. I call your name through falling rain. A subtle voice, it calms my fear. A gentle love that draws me near. I breathe in peace, it fills my chest. I feel your hand, I am truly blessed. Whispers of heaven fill my soul, guiding me gently, making me whole. Faith renews me, hope remains in your embrace. No fear remains. Every broken night, every tear I shed, you hold me close, my path you've led. Through lonely roads and empty halls, I hear your call, it breaks my walls. Soft harmonies, a tender sway, your light grows stronger with each day. Whispers of heaven fill my soul, guiding me gently, making me whole. Faith renews me, hope remains in your embrace. No fear remains. I lift my voice, surrender all. I feel your love, it breaks my fall. Through trials deep, through nights unknown, your presence comforts, I am not alone. The world may shake, the storms may roar, but in your arms I fear no more. Your grace flows deep, it heals my heart. A sacred song, a brand new start. Whispers of heaven fill my soul, guiding me gently, making me whole. Faith renews, hope remains in your embrace. No fear remains. Soft piano, gentle paths, fading light, a peaceful end to the long night. Your whispers linger, a tender sigh. I rest in you, beneath your sky. There's a space between what I feel and what I know is true. My heart keeps asking questions, my face is waded through. I know you're more than stories, more than words I've been told. But tonight my hands are shaking, trying to hold what I hold. I've cried in empty rooms with my Bible on the floor. Not angry, just exhausted from believing anymore. I don't need you to explain why the hurt won't go. I just need you to remind me that I'm not alone. Meet me between what I feel and what I know, where my doubt and my devotion both show. If faith is just staying when it's hard, then here I am, Lord. You said, blessed are the honest hearts, not the ones who never fall. You called my questions holy, you still answered my call. You didn't give me certainty, you gave me peace instead. And somehow that was enough to rest my head. I've spent years outrunning my cracks, afraid they define me. I kept busy, kept moving, so they wouldn't find me. But broken things have voices, and they don't disappear. They wait patiently for the moment you stop pretending you're clear. Blues, exhaustion, I collapsed in the middle of nowhere with no strength left to hide. I didn't ask you to make me better, I asked you to stay by my side. Gospel meeting grace, and you didn't flinch at the mess, didn't clean me up first. You met me right in the fracture and called it sacred word. You said this is where love enters, not after you're whole. And something changed inside me, down deep in my soul. I stopped running from the break when I felt you hold the space. I stopped fearing what was torn when you called it reborn. I didn't need to hide my pain to stay inside your grace. I stopped running from the break and found my place. Soul integration. I learned my story isn't ruined, it's human, it's real. And the parts I try to silence are the parts that heal. I don't erase my past now, I listen to what it says. It taught me how to recognize a love that stays present. Broken doesn't mean abandoned, it means open. R&B, forward motion. I walk slower, but I stand taller in my own skin. I don't fear the cracks anymore, I let the light in. Life feels fragile, but honest too. And I wouldn't trade this softness for something untrue. I stay. There are moments in life when the soul feels far from home. Not a place on a map, but a place in the heart. The place where peace used to live. David once wrote, "Restore to me the joy of your salvation." A prayer for returning, a prayer for starting again. Lead me back to quiet waters, where my restless spirit heals. Every step toward your presence shows my heart what's truly real. I was wandering through shadows,
Now your mercy lights the pathway, and my soul is coming home. God never rushes the journey. He waits patiently, like a father watching the road for a child who wandered far. And when we finally turn around, there is no anger, only open arms. Home is where your mercy stays, lighting up my darkest days. And tonight I remember the road back to God was never closed.
I searched for rest in finished tasks, in approval, in control, but rest was never something I could earn. It was always you, Jesus, my place of rest, where my soul stops striving. I come weary and leave head. You say, come to me, not when I am strong, but when I am tired, and I come exactly as I am. Jesus, my place of rest, gentle and lowly in heart. You carry what I cannot and call it love. I lay my burdens down one by one until my breathing changes. I stay because rest lives here. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
Not every miracle is loud. Sometimes transformation happens slowly, like ink soaking into parchment, like rain softening dry soil. Your truth doesn't force its way in. It writes gently, line by line.
Write your love on quiet hearts.
Carve your wisdom deep.
Let compassion shape my words.
Let humility keep.
When pride begins to surface and ego tries to start,
Write your love.
write your love on quiet hearts.
I want a faith that listens, a spirit that responds softly, quick to hear, slow to anger, rich in mercy. Strength under control, power, surrender.
Write your love on quiet hearts.
Teach me how to live,
Not demanding recognition.
but eager to forgive.
If gentleness is greatness, if patience is the art,
Write your love.
write your love on quiet hearts.
Horn me,
Shape me,
me, keep me true.
form me,
Shape me,
feed me.
keep me true. Write your love on quiet hearts, till kindness is my name.
Every room I enter,
Feels lighter just the same.
and when my story's finished,
May this be where it starts. You wrote your love in quiet hearts. Think of grace. Think of grace.
Sometimes I think about how quiet miracles really are. Not the loud ones, not the kind that split oceans, but the kind that happen between heartbeats, like breathing again. After a long season of worry, the psalm says, the Lord sustains all who fall. And maybe that's what grace looks like. A hand we cannot see, holding us steady when life almost breaks us. Grace between heartbeats, soft as falling rain, healing every hidden place where I once held pain. Love that never leaves me, even when I stray. Mercy walks beside my soul every step of the way. I used to think faith was something loud, something you had to prove to the whole world. But tonight faith feels smaller, a quiet trust, a simple whisper, God And somewhere between two heartbeats, I realize grace was always there.
Wisdom doesn't shout. It waits.
In a world addicted to noise, I've confused volume with truth, but correction often comes like a father's gentle hand on a restless shoulder.
Not to shame.
Not to shame, but to speak, Lord, in the quiet places
where my pride begins to fall.
Shape my heart with patient mercy.
Write your wisdom on my way.
When the path feels complicated
and I'm tempted to control,
be the calm inside my choices,
steady anchor for my soul. Discipline once felt like distance, now I see it as love. You refine without rejection, you correct without contempt. Better a moment of humility than a lifetime of regret.
Speak, Lord, in the quiet places.
Teach my restless heart to bend.
Let your truth be sweeter to me
than approval from a friend.
If wisdom is a treasure, then plant it deep in me. Speak, Lord, in the quiet places,
and set my future free. Oh,
softly, surely, faithfully.
Speak, Lord, in the quiet places, when my own voice grows too loud. Make me gentle, make me faithful, make me humble, make me proud.
Not in self, but in surrender. Not in power, but in grace.
Speak, Lord, in the quiet places, let your light shape my way. Wisdom waits. Wisdom waits.
I spent so long pretending strength, calling it belief, but inside I was exhausted, trying not to grieve. I learned how to sound faithful, but not how to be real, until the struggle spoke my name and asked me how I feel. I told you I was tired of carrying the load, of trusting with my words, but doubting in my soul. You didn't interrupt my pain, You let me say it all, and that's when faith started breathing. In the middle of my fault, I let the struggle speak to you, instead of running from the truth. And somehow in my honesty, you were already there with me. You said my grace is not offended by the questions you ask. You call my weakness holy ground, not something from my past. You didn't give me easy answers, you gave me space, and I found peace growing slowly in that grace. Nothing left to prove. Can live inside the mess I couldn't change. I let the struggle speak at less, and found a love that holds me fast. I don't need to hide to belong. I've been yours all along. I've walked through nights so long and cold, with trembling hands, my heart untold. The weight of sorrow, the fear I hide, I prayed alone, with tears I cried. But in the silence, a whisper, a gentle hand that lifts me from the falls. Light through the shadows, hope in my heart. Your love restores me, a brand new start. Faith carries me, I rise above, wrapped in your mercy, endless love. Every broken dream, every lost way, you guide my steps, you make me stay. Through the storm, through the pouring rain, I feel your presence, I'm whole again. I surrender all, my soul in your hand. I'm lifted high by your divine plan. Soft whispers fade into peace tonight. A gentle embrace, everything's alright. Soft whispers fade into peace tonight. A gentle embrace, everything's alright. is quiet tonight. Just a small lamp glowing, soft shadows on the wall, and the sound of my breathing. Somewhere in the stillness I remember a verse. His mercies are new every morning. But Lord, what about the night? The hours when doubts grow louder and hope feels far away. Maybe mercy lives here too, hidden in the quiet, waiting for tired hearts to slow down long enough to notice. Your mercy finds me in the silence, where my restless thoughts grow weak, like a river flowing gently through the places I can't speak. Even when the night is heavy, even when my soul feels small, grace arrives without a warning. Love is standing through it all. I used to believe peace came after answers, after solutions, after understanding everything. But your word says peace I leave with you, not later, not someday now. And suddenly I see peace was never something I had to chase. It was always something you were offering. When my strength begins to fade, your promises remain, like a lighthouse in the dark, calling softly through the rain, softly through the rain. Quiet room tonight, I realize mercy never needed noise. It only needed a listening heart. Some prayers are spoken with words, others are written in tears. David understood that. He wrote songs from caves, from battles, from lonely nights, and still he said,
"The Lord is close to the brokenhearted."
not far, not distant, close, closer than our pain.
Every tear becomes a prayer,
floating softly through the air.
Heaven listens through the night,
turning sorrow into light.
Even when my voice is gone,
faith continues holding on.
Love will carry every plea,
until my soul is finally free. I used to hide my weakness, pretending strength meant silence. But your word shows something different. Even Jesus wept, and Suddenly tears don't feel like failure anymore. They feel like honesty, a heart speaking the truth.
Directly to heaven, broken voices still can sing.
Hope is born from suffering.
Even grief can lead us home,
where we never walk alone.
And tonight,
my tears are not a burden.
They are simply another language
God already understands. I came to you with pieces, hoping you repair, but you didn't rush to change a thing, you just stayed there. I wanted answers, wanted peace, wanted pain to end, but you gave me something deeper, you became my friend. I wasn't fixed, I was held in a love that knew me well. I don't need to be whole today. I was held. Being held taught me how to breathe, how to let go slow, how to stop asking what's wrong with me and start feeling love. Now my soul rests easy in sacred grace. I don't fear my broken places, they're a holy space. I wasn't fixed, I was held in divine love. I fell into peace I couldn't earn. I was held. Hold me I came in tired, I leave changed, not healed but safe in the arms that never fail. I was I've been quiet for a while now, not because I walked away. I just didn't have the language for the doubts I couldn't say. I kept smiling through the questions, calling silence being strong. But inside my faith felt fragile, like it didn't quite belong. I watched others sing with certainty, while my prayers felt incomplete. I wondered if you still heard me when I barely found belief. I didn't stop loving you, I just stopped feeling brave. I was scared you'd see the weakness I was trying hard to save. I didn't fall away from you, I just stayed and felt the ache. I was learning how to trust you, in the waiting, in the break. You said faith is not performance, it's staying when it hurts. You didn't ask me to be louder, you just asked me not to run. That's when peace began to breathe in the places I denied. You didn't fix my situation, you stayed right by my side. Now my heart moves slower, but it feels more true. I don't need to rush the healing, I'm still here with you. I didn't fall away in doubt, I fell into your grace. Somehow in my honesty, I found my place. I'm still here. I'm still here. Before the sun remembers how to rise, before my heart learns courage again, your word is already standing, unmoved, unshaken, unimpressed by my doubt. I've seen promises fail, I've watched people change, but you remain the same. You spoke light into nothing, and nothing obeyed. Your word still stands when my strength falls short. Your truth does not bend to my feet. study, but to listen. Each line breathes life, each promise holds weight. You are not a suggestion, you are a foundation. Your word still stands in the valley, in the waiting, in the silence. So tonight I stop negotiating with faith and choose obedience. I stand on what you said.
Night feels longer when guilt is loud.
I replay conversations I wish I could erase, moments of impatience, words without grace. The darkness magnifies mistakes, makes them feel eternal, but I remember morning always comes. There is mercy before morning, before the sun can rise. Grace is waiting in the darkness before I open my eyes.
Even when I fall short, even when I fail,
There is mercy before morning,
stronger than my shame.
You are not surprised by my weakness. You are not exhausted by my growth. Your patience outlasts my failure. Your kindness teaches me to change. Correction without condemnation. That's holy love.
There is mercy before morning,
There is
mercy before morning,
before all
before I make things right.
forgiveness
Forgiveness flowing quietly
through the
longest night.
If compassion never sleeps, if faithfulness remains, there is
Mercy before morning,
washing over.
washing over pain. Every sunrise, faithful and kind.
There in
Mercy before morning,
before my courage wakes.
so breathing through the shadows for every heart that aches.
And when the light comes slowly through my bedroom blinds,
I'll rise into the mercy that was there the whole time.
morning is coming.
Morning is coming. The night was heavy, thoughts thoughts ran wild. I felt so lost, so undefiled. I searched for signs, for proof or sound, but truth was waiting to be found. In quiet space where I gave in, your presence spoke beneath my skin. Awake in your presence, my soul stands still. From restless doubt to quiet will, faith remains when words all fall. Your love surrounds, it says it all. Every prayer I couldn't speak, He understood the part of me that didn't know how to be strong, but stayed and stayed and stayed this long. I surrendered noise and fear, every need to interfere. Let the silence shape my view, stillness always leads to you. Tight around my arms, I walk slow, but I see love was always carrying me. Piano sighs, the moment stays. Stillness knows your holy name. Awake, aligned, forever true. I rest in you. There is a certain hour when the world exhales and heaven feels closer to the floor. My lights are low, my thoughts are slower, and my heart finally speaks honestly. I don't raise my voice, I don't search for perfect words, I just open the door, and you enter like you always do. The night listens when I pray, every sigh becomes language, every tear becomes truth that you already understand. I confess what I couldn't say all day, that I am tired of holding myself together, that faith feels heavy sometimes, and you do not correct me. You cover me, you remind me that you never sleep, that while I worry, The night listens when I pray, and peace answers softly, not with explanations, but with presence. I repeat wisdom to my soul. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, even when my heart feels divided. I lean, even if my balance shakes. The dark does not frighten me anymore, because you meet me here. The light listens, and you I didn't come with answers, I didn't come with strength. I came with shaking hands and a heart that barely bent. I tried to fix myself for years, tried to pray the pain away, but the cracks kept showing up, no matter what I'd say. I'm tired of pretending healing means I never fall apart. I'm tired of calling weakness something wrong inside my heart. Blues deepening pain. Some nights I sit with memories I still know how to breathe. They knock so gently on my chest, like they're part of me. Ask you why you let me break, why love still hurts this way. But the question faded slowly when you chose to stay. Gospel presence arrives. You didn't say let me change you. You said come closer now. You didn't rush my breathing. You didn't ask me how. You opened up your arms before I had the words, and I felt safe without explaining why my face still hurts. I didn't come to be fixed, I came to be held in a love that doesn't flinch at the stories I tell. You didn't need me stronger, you didn't need me brave. You just held me in the middle of everything I couldn't say. Soul realization, that's when I felt my body soften. That's when my chest released, when I realized I don't need answers to finally feel peace. I'm not a project to be finished, I'm not a problem to erase. I'm a human being learning how to rest in grace. Acceptance, no forcing, just breathing in, no pausing, just breathing in your presence. Silence feels kinder now. My thoughts don't scream, they sit beside me and let me be. R&B returning to life. Now I wake up slow, but they don't scare me away, because I know I'll be held again at the end of the day. Hell not fixed. I've been dancing with my shadow, calling it survival, smiling through the aching side, just to feel alive. You saw me through the tired joy, through the half-made truth. You said lay your armor down, I already chose you. Still I'm free in your love, not because I'm strong enough, but because you stay with me. Still I'm free. Freedom didn't come like fire, it came like rest, like knowing I don't have to earn what I already have. Now my heart swings slow and wide in sacred time. I found peace on the inside, left fear behind. Still I'm free, my soul can breathe. In divine love I believe. Every chain fell quietly. Still I'm free. Thank you for staying. Still I'm free. Still I rise. Still I'm free in hope and faith in life. I'm free from broken blues to holy joy. Still I'm free. 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 Yes. The night was heavy, my heart afraid. I wore my strength like a masquerade. Every smile cost more than it gave. I was tired of being brave. Your kindness met my tired eyes. Love arrives without disguise. Awake in your presence, my God comes down. From restless feet to solid ground, faith breathes in, my soul unwinds in your close, love remains. My spirit knows, held in calm, forever true. I awaken, held by you.
It's past midnight, and the world is finally quiet enough for me to hear my own soul breathe.
I've been running all day long, chasing answers that disappear like smoke. My heart heavy with questions, my hands tied from holding things I was never meant to carry.
They say you restore the weary, they say you lead the broken to still waters.
Tonight,
I need those waters. Lead me beside still waters,
Where my anxious thoughts grow calm.
lay me down in quiet mercy.
Wrap me in your healing arms.
When the night feels overwhelming,
And my faith is worn and thin.
be the shepherd of my breathing.
Bring my restless heart back in.
I've tried to fix myself with noise, filled the silence with distractions, but peace doesn't shout, it whispers.
Like wind through olive branches, like grace that doesn't hurry, like love that doesn't demand performance.
You don't measure me by my faith,
You don't count my fears against me.
you just stay.
Oh yeah,
Lead me beside the still waters,
where the shadows lose their claim.
wash away the dust of striving.
Cleanse the guilt and quiet shame.
When my soul forgets its worth,
And I cannot find my way.
be the light upon the water.
Turn my midnight into day.
Restore my soul,
Restore my soul.
restore my soul.
Even here, even now.
Even my heart still teach my heart to trust again. In the valley or the sunrise,
You are closer than my skin.
when the night is finally over and new mercies start to rise,
I will wake beside still waters, with your peace inside my eyes.
The world is quiet, and so is my fear. You are here.